Hello friends, welcome to Inkspire Me. My name is Stephanie Nash and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I'm also the proud owner and creative mind behind Inkspire Me. Today I am going to show you how to create this super easy triangle gatefold card. It's a spin on an old favorite. This card I created for a blog hop not too long ago, and I had a lot of people asking how I created it, so I thought I would do a quick tutorial for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to want is a piece of designer series paper, and this piece of paper measures 12 inches by 5¼ inches. And then you are going to need to have the means to score your paper. So whether you use a Stampin' trimmer or a scoring tool, you're going to want to have that handy. If you're using your trimmer, it is your light gray blade that we are going to be using. And we're going to be scoring along the long edge at 2 inches, 4 inches, and then we're going to open up our ruler. We're going to score at 8 inches and 10 inches. Now the paper I am using is from the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper pack. This is part of the Sweet Stockings suite of products in the mini catalog in the year 2021. So now that we have those score lines, what we want to do is the two innermost lines we want to valley fold. So we're just folding in, so it's going to look like this, and then the two outermost score lines become a mountain fold. So then this is our card, and you can decide which pattern you like better. For this card, I think I'm going to keep the Christmas lights on the interior and the beautiful pool party color on the exterior. So I'm just going to burnish my folds so that they lie flat. This is our bone folder. It just helps give your fold that nice crispness so it doesn't pop open as much. So feel free to do that a few times until you get the desired result. So then the next thing we need to do is, there's actually some measuring and some cutting here. So I'm going to pull in my ruler and I'm going to grab a pencil. Oops. And what we need to do is actually measure 2¼ inches from the top. So you decide which is the top, and then we're going to measure 2¼ inches. And I apologize if you get my head in the shot for just a moment while I line that up. So there we have 2¼ and so I'm just going to put a little mark on my cardstock in pencil at that 2¼ mark. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to line that up, 2¼ and then we're going to pull our trimmer back in. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to cut from that pencil mark to the score line. So it's going to be on that angle, like so. And then we're just going to give it a zip. And the same thing on the other side. So from the score line to the pencil mark. You want to make sure when you're marking you can actually see your mark, which I cannot on this one. Oh, yes I can. There it is. It's in the light bulb. That's why I couldn't see it. So just turning until I get those lined up. Like so. A little snip snip. Now hang on to these triangles that you've just cut off, because they are going to become part of your card. So we're going to flip those to the reverse side, and that gives us this beautiful diamond in the center of our card front. So we're just going to use our seal adhesive or your adhesive of choice. The Tombow multi-purpose glue is also a good choice here because you can move your triangle around until you have positioning just right. Like so. There we have it. Looking cute so far. So the next thing I want to do is actually pull in a piece of cardstock, and we're going to mount our designer series paper on that just to give it some stability. So I've chosen Cherry Cobbler, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it makes it a true quarter fold card. And all I'm going to do is use my seal. I like 4 corners and the center, and we are going to attach that, leaving that nice 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And again, it just provides that added stability to your card. I'm happy with that. What do you guys think? So then the next piece of the puzzle is a piece of colored cardstock. And again, you want to coordinate. So in this case, this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and it's Cherry Cobbler. So it matches the color of the designer series paper as well as what I've chosen as my base. And this is going to get mounted to the card front using the points to line up your center, but we're only going to adhere it on one side so that we can open our card. So I'm going to adhere it on the left side, but if you prefer it on the right, by all means. So again, I'm just using my seal, creating that little triangle. I don't want to go too close to the center and risk over sticking. And we're going to line that up. And again, here is where your Tombow multi-purpose glue would come in handy to get everything lined up properly before firmly attaching. And then just give it a good rub. So there we have it. So of course, you can see that I have a piece of basic white in the center there. So this piece is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And again, I'm just going to attach that with my seal. This will leave an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And it's coming along nicely. Now on my sample, I used this grumpy cat as my focal point, but for this one, I thought I would use this cute little corgi in a sweater. So I'm going to use my paper snips to cut him out. And I like to work with small pieces, so I'm actually just going to cut him out like this first, and now I can go in and use my snips. And I like to use, or leave, excuse me, a little bit of a white border, because if you've ever noticed with our dies or our punches, there's often a little bit of a border around the images that get cut out. So I like to do the same thing here. Now you can go as detailed as you choose. I'm going to go in and around his whiskers and his cute little bum, and then back down around each of his paws. And if you didn't want to go in around each of the paws, that's okay. All right, so there we have our cute little corgi. He's just so cute. Oh my gosh. And then I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to attach that to the front. And I like to use every last little bit of my dimensionals, which is why you see me pulling off bits of the edge here. So all I did was took my paper snips, made some lines, and now I have more dimensionals to use. So he's going to get centered in that opening. And we could very well leave the card like this and not finish it, but of course I think it needs a sentiment. So we are going to add a greeting. using the Sweet Little Stockings stamp set. And we could do Peace, Joy, and Kisses, which is what I used on Grumpy Kitty, or Very Merry. And for this one, I think, let's see. Let's do Very Merry for this one. Let's change it up. So I'm going to grab a block, because I did not have one out. And I'm going to grab a scrap of basic white. Now this one is going to be, we're going to say 1.5 by 1.5. So I'm going to cut this. No, we're not. We're going to go 1 by 1 actually. Now that I say that, let's try 1.25 by 1.25. We want our stamp to actually fit on there. So 1.25 by 1.25. And the general rule of thumb is you want to use colors at least twice to tie everything together. So because we've got Pool Party and we haven't done anything in Pool Party, I'm going to grab that ink. And we're going to stamp our greeting in Pool Party. So we've got Very Merry. And we are going to stamp that in the center of our basic white square. And then we are going to mount that on a piece of cherry cobbler, once again tying all our colors together. And this is going to be 1.5 by 1.5. We're just going to cut that. So we'll attach that with our seal. Like so. And then I'm going to pop this piece up using Stampin' Dimensionals once again. There we go. Oh, and you know what? I actually put a dimensional too far up in this corner, so I'm going to peel that off. We don't want to put one in this top corner because we want to be able to tuck that square or diamond underneath it to help hold it closed. So it just sort of tucks underneath there. And then, of course, we need bling. And if you know me, you know I love my rhinestones. So I'm going to grab those. They are here beside me under my ruler. There they are. And my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to use 2 of the large rhinestones here along the side. And then 1 of the medium. And we're going to go this side. And there we have our triangle gatefold card featuring the Sweet Little Stockings. Now, of course, we do need something on the inside because it would be awfully hard to write in that negative space. So I'm just going to grab some basic white. And we're going to make this 3 inches by 4.25. And that will fit nicely in the center there. So we're just going to use our seal again. And then if you wanted to add something to the interior, because I used a dog on this one, I'm going to use our little doggy head here. And I'm going to stamp this in Memento. So this is our black. Just down here at the bottom like so. So we have our cute little pooch poking his head out at the bottom of the card. On the inside, a nice area for you to write your greeting, and then we can tuck our front in behind. And that is our triangle gatefold card, again featuring these sweet little stockings suite from the mini catalog. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody, and have a fabulous day.